loading. What boost will it run? All the boost.
If anyone's watching and they don't like horsepower, not a thing, is it? Basically, it's time to get some more power out of the 140. We pretty much pushed the limit of standard turbo, then we upped it again with the Litco L520, which was a really, really good responsive turbo. It keeps essentially the same exhaust side, just a bigger compressor. Worked really well. We were somewhere in the region of sort of 520, 530 horsepower with that. But greed is a terrible thing. And so after we built a couple of cars with Pure800s, decided that we needed a bit of the action. So this episode is going to be all about fitting a Pure800 turbo to the HE140I. And then we'll do some driving afterwards, tell you what we think of it. Obviously, as I say, I've driven a couple of cars with them already, and they don't have the same response, but when you've got an 8-speed auto, to be honest, you can just keep it up in the revs, and they're not laggy as such. They're a really impressive turbo. It's going to take us up to the limit of fueling, so we're not going to be able to get the full capacity of the turbo out of this thing just yet, but stay tuned and we'll see what we can do with it. Right, Luke's been hard at work getting the old turbo off. So this is a Litco L520 that I've been using for a while. I found it really good. Response is literally like standard, and it just gives that a bit more punch. We never actually got ours on the dyno, to be honest, but I've had customers reliably doing 520, 530 horsepower on pump fuel. And as I say, the response is kind of what's so great about this turbo. It just gives you a bit more punch, same response, absolutely ideal. You can see immediately when you then look at the Pure800 over here, the size difference between the two. So the L520 is designed for all standard inlet pipes and everything like that. The Pure Turbo comes with its own. The other good thing about the Pure800 is, as well as the size of it, is that you can buy this as a complete new unit, so there's no exchange involved, no swapping bits around. So the L520 comes as the front half of the turbo, keeps the standard rear half. The Pure is a complete replacement turbo. And basically what we've found with this and we've enjoyed is the response, but now it's time to really see what the B58 can do with the sort of ultimate hybrid turbo that's out there really, the Pure800 Cast. We're also going to be throwing ethanol into the mix, so the car's already got flex fuel capability, and we'll be tuning with Paul Johnson and essentially scaling it so that we can go all the way from pump fuel up to E50, maybe and beyond, with hopefully some good results. Yeah, the rest of the engine and everything is essentially standard. We've just got cooling mods and breathing mods. So let's see what it can do. Luke's going to get this back on there, and we'll go from there, see what power we can make, and hopefully it'll be good. been hard at work, and the B58, as found in the M140i, is back together. So we're now going to start it up after all that work, and obviously it'll all be absolutely fine. Fire away, Luke. We're out and about in the car. This is a little bit later than the previous bits of footage. As you might have noticed, we've got bucket seats in here, and we've done a few other bits of the car. And as well as that, obviously the turbo's on there, but we've also gone through a load of data logging and mapping with F80 pool. So we've got two settings on this. Our big power map is 2 bar of boost on pump fuel, and then we can add up to 50% ethanol, and thanks to the Boot Mod 3 flex fuel sensor, the car will automatically tailor all of its mapping to suit, which is a really tricky bit of kit. And then we've got a second map, which is 1.6 bar of boost, which is a lower boost map, just for track days and stuff. You really don't need all that power. With the setup we've got, with a TU fuel pump, charge cooler, rad from CSF, what else have we got? Not really that much, just charge pipe and a few other bits and bobs, and an exhaust system. We're limited by fuel pump with that, so although it makes some really quite impressive power, it seems, as it is, we'll get onto a dyno in another video, there's actually a lot more in it if we could get more fuel into it. So this turbo, really, we're only scratching the surface with it, so it's capable of a lot more flow, which at some point we'll get to. The common way of going with it is to add a Dodge fuel pump. We might do something a bit different, but watch this space, and really excited to push this turbo even harder. But for what it is, on just the TU fuel pump and other supporting modifications, it's bloody impressive. Yeah, this thing's an absolute animal. So really happy with that turbo, and looking forward to pushing it harder. See you next time.